Welcome to the channel. Today we are installing the Mk7 650X Pro Auto Drive, which is for Dillon 750. We've just opened the box. I've just read the instructions, or a good amount to it, and we're going to try and install it, and we'll give you a front row seat so you can see what we're doing and how it goes. First out of the box, I think that is the manual stop switch. Oh, it might be like for a feed sensor thing. Okay, okay. What's next? Yeah, we have an SD card, little fixings, various cables, clear tray. What are you? More fixings, I think. More fixings. I have a feeling we'll be at this for a while. Power cord,
2-pin,
European.
220 volt.
That's looking up. We ordered the 220 volt version. Obviously, we have a tablet. Yeah, and that's the machine proper. Okay, then we have an unopenable box. Oh, it says optical decap sensor. Is that coming as standard? I didn't order that. And then the machine proper. Okay. And let's see if we can get the bag away. Oh, it's got little feet. That does not go with my mantra of screwing things down. I assume this is the cam. I think it's just a travel rig. Okay, well, let's dump it over there and have a look. Okay then, first impressions. That over here is clearly the cam. That's the bit that turns up and down. That is the mount. On top of that sits your machine. In our case it's going to be a 750. In the rear is the motor. And then at the side, I assume underneath there is a transformer. Don't know. And on top of that, various electronic gubbins which accepts all sorts of leads. First thing in the instructions, ironically, all deals with the Dillon 650. In our case, it'll be a 750. So let's start with that. Let's see what we have here. Got a manual. Don't need that. I know this machine inside out. Don't need you. Stuffing. Handle holder. Powder measure. Oh. Don't need you. Don't need you. Okay, then we have a box. Put that over there. Yeah. Okay, so we're taking the link at the bottom off. That's this wide thing. And then we're also taking the link arms, the two at the side, off. The cam will connect to the up ram, and then there's some gubbins, I think, that come down from up here that'll connect to the bottom of the press to stop the whole thing from flexing. Alright, let's start with that. Okay, disassembly. We're going to start off by taking this guy down. Little Allen key. It's just a standard Dillon job. I don't even know what size that is. I'm not too hot on Imperial. We'll put that guy to a side. Right, now, 1, 2, 3, 4. What size are they? They are smaller than an inch, larger than 3/4 of an inch. What am I going to use? I'm going to use a 22mm spanner, because that's all I have. I don't have anything in between. Okay, let's see what we can get you off. And a 1. Oh God almighty, this is going to be wobbly. This then is step 1. We've removed everything that's underneath here. We have the end of the ram and we have the two side supports. And if I'm correct, that now gets screwed onto the mount. Okay. Call that the marriage. First things first, we've got the Dillon on now, so that's mounted. I still have it left a little loose. We're now going to mount this guy in there with the old Dillon knuckle ring. I'm just gonna grease it a tiny bit all over. I will actually squeeze some grease into it before I fasten it, but this'll just help it slide in a little bit, like so. I have removed this guy from the bottom of the Dillon ram. That now goes into here. So, on there, this is the old knuckle bolt of the Dillon. That goes on there like that. And I'm going to squeeze some grease in there, and then we'll screw this guy in. I don't think that's where we want to be. There's a groove in between like that. All the way in. Bit of play, but okay. Right, and then the next step is to connect this guy over here to the ram. So we'll lift the whole enterprise up, give it a twist, up it goes, and then I'm going to lower it down gently, a little bit more, whoop, a tiny bit more. Oh wow, this is all very tight. Okay, and then I'll ram that bolt through. I've put a little grease in there, but I can't help thinking this is going to be stationary, so hopefully that grease won't be needed. So I fixed up all the screws at the bottom, I pulled everything taut. There's a bit of thread sticking out there. I find that unnerving, makes me feel like I've missed a washer somewhere, but it's everything the way it should be. I'm now going to tighten down the bolts on the press itself. I wanted that loose in case I need a little bit of play to align everything. But it's been alright so far. So let's tighten those down. Some bolts, these guys go into there, and they are 3/4 of an inch. We're now installing this thing. This is the protective cover. That goes over there. I actually think that's going to be very useful with the Ponce's Warren. You live in real danger of what happens in the rear. So I'm pleased with this. Right, so we mounted the tablet in the tablet holder. Done. Wiring up. So we have the big USB cable in here coming out to the motor. We have the micro USB cable behind the big USB cable running all the way up and to the tablet. Then we have this cable over here, which is already solidly wired, is the power cable for the top of the tablet. Right, then it gets interesting. Then we have these guys. Now we have the one with the white molding, that's clearly a 6-pin. That goes over there, that's for the motor. And the other end for that goes behind the motor over here. So that runs around the corner and gets clipped in. And then we have something called the motor's 8-pin. That's going to be much the same gig, so that clips in over here. Like so, and from there to the panel, like so. Wired remote stop goes into port number 6, and port number 6 is this one. This is the decap sensor that comes with it. The way this works, it goes into port number 5, so I'll find port number 5, and then this guy gets installed somewhere like there. I don't know, but I'm postulating that it makes sure that on decap the sensor drops and gets counted as it goes through here. See, there's a straight way through. There's clearly some sort of light sensor in there or something. Because if you think about it, as you decap, if the primer sticks and the machine comes down and turns, it'll rip itself to pieces. You'll lose an index ring. This guy there, which happens a lot with the Warren. But with this you clearly have a decapping sensor, so you enable decap sensor, and that counts that the machine doesn't drop down until the sensor has detected the primer. Right, so I'm installing that now, so I think that goes underneath the tray here. We have set up everything to the best of our abilities, and we're now going to do a manual dry run using this thing over here. they want you to use an 11/16. That's actually an imperial wrench that I have, and the way it works is you plug it in there and then you can manually rotate the system. So let's give that a go. So this is clearly all the way down then. Let's make sure. There, that's as far down as I'd want it to go, because we have our decapping pin coming up there. So one assumes that's all good. And then all the way up. Okay. That's the priming system disappears. And that is a dead stop. Yeah, that's us hitting the bar, so that's all the way up. That's as high as this would go. Okay, well, so far so good. Let's go all the way down again. I'm not sure there's a dead stop for us going down. So down, 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 down. See, that's the primer as up as it goes. The dead stop is as far as the machine will let you go. But we're not hitting anything, everything looks good. So I think we are now ready to hopefully maybe perhaps turn it on, and we hope that all works. Okay, now the things that we still have left over by my reckoning that I'd still like to find a home for. We have this. This clearly is some sort of little rubber feeties that clearly forms part of the installation of the tablet. So we'll investigate that in a minute. Then we have the micro SD card. I haven't installed that yet. Then we have this. This is clearly some sort of cable organizer mounting kit. We'll have to have a play with that. We have still got a micro SD to HDMI. I think that's for the tablet. I don't think we'll need that here. We have a USB cable, but I think that is just an extra that came with the, what's it? This is for Mr. Bullet Feeder to try and clean up the amount of interference that you're going to get off the system. We're not running the Mr. Bullet Feeder yet. That's all the way up there. I'll shuffle that across later. I'll deal with it then. So the things to find out then is A, where these pins go, and secondly, where the micro SD thing goes. Okay, there's this little panel here on the back of the tablet. I've just undone that. And I think that is where the micro SD card goes. 8 gig. Okay, first mystery solved. We still have these cable tidies, and let's see whether we can find a home for these little gubbins here. If you can see that, they're not mentioned anywhere, but I am postulating they are here to round off the edges of this frame thing to stop the arms from flying off. See, like that. And that'll stop these adjustable arms from dropping out at the side. So we have found a purpose for the little bag of gubbins. Now we're going to hold back on the cable ties because I want to make sure everything runs before I do the tidying. So I think now we're going to turn it on, and we have power. I hear humming. Okay, right, so I've got a brand new caliber conversion kit in. I'm going to very quickly run once up and once down. And that's all the way up. That's all the way down. Calibrate, here we go. Okay, so that's single cycle. I'll just press that a few more times on it. Let's see what jog up means. End cycle gets you back. Run, it just does its thing. So see, we clearly have an aggressive up, which is strange. I would have picked exactly the opposite. I would have selected a gentle down and an aggressive up. I mean, if you're going to write off an indexer, it's going to be at the bottom of the stroke, not the top. So we're now on 1,800 rounds per second allegedly. Have we got any spare? No.
Big stop button.
New roll, stop activated. Okay, jog up. Why did it stop? was clearly too fast. No primer ejected, so it stops before it gets to the indexer. That's actually really useful. That's really good. So there we have it. Verdict so far. This is the end of the installation in my eyes. I'm happy with it. I think it's reasonably impressive. I mean, it's all there. Bye bye from us. We'll see you next time. Bye bye.